Hi there, I'm Paul Collins, CEO and co-founder of SkillsTX, and welcome to this demonstration where we're going to focus in on a couple of concepts within the SFIA environment around assessors and endorsers. So this is for people that are involved in the assessment of other people's skills. These are some features that we've got within our solution. So let's just tease out some of the terminology a little bit and have a look at the agenda. So we're going to start by looking at what we mean by endorsements and the ability to issue certified SFIA credentials or badges. Then we'll dive into the product. We'll look at the endorsement features from an employee and from an endorser perspective. And we'll also look at another feature, which is the certify feature, where you issue SFIA credentials through the system from both an employee and an assessor perspective. We'll have a look at a couple of the use cases in terms of where you might want to use these features, and then just a little bit of a finish off around a brave new world where we identify people's skills based on their exposure and experience, not necessarily just based on whether or not they've passed exams. So the ability to recognize a person's ability to perform a skill regardless of how they acquired that skill. So let's start chapter 1 and just have a look at a couple of things that are pretty important. Down at the bottom of the page there, if you're interested in going a bit deeper, I highly recommend that you go to the SFIA online website and look at the Get Accredited page. I'll just give you some very high level overview of this. So the first thing is, if you are going to issue SFIA credentials or badges, you can actually see some on the wall behind me there. You have to be what is referred to as a SFIA Accredited Assessor. There's a process you have to go through to acquire that accreditation, and it basically means that you are capable of having a discussion, uncovering evidence, and subsequently issuing SFIA credentials or badges. The endorsement feature that we have in the system has a lower level in terms of access to that feature. We're not issuing badges, we're just creating what we call an endorsed profile. Clearly you need to have a good understanding of the SFIA framework and how to conduct a discussion. So the minimum we recommend is to be a SFIA accredited practitioner. Of course, this can be run within your own organisation, but if you are actually charging for this service, then really you need to be a SFIA accredited consultant or assessor. So just a little bit of a heads up, but again, I very strongly recommend that you go and have a look at the SFIA Foundation and keep up to date with what's required to acquire those accreditations. And what we're going to do is jump into the system and have a look at the user experience from an endorsement point of view from both sides, the endorser and the endorsee. Okay, let's look at endorsements from the perspective of an employee. And here I'm logged in into a dummy user, and you can see right at the very top of the page we've got this banner that says endorsed by Sherelle on the 3rd of March 23. So I, as an end user, I know obviously I will have had some form of interaction with Sherelle where evidence was provided to support the skills that were recorded. If I scroll down, I've got my self-assessment profile here. I can edit it, of course, because it's my profile, print it, one thing or another. What I'm going to do though is look at the endorsed profile that was created by this person at the top of the page here. So scroll down a little and you can see I've not got the edit option anymore. Quite obviously I can't edit something that someone else has created, but what I can see where I've got these speech bubbles, Sherelle has put information to support the profile that we're seeing in front of us. Got another one down here highlighting some comments relating to that skill. So that's the profile that was created by Sherelle. What I could do, if I wanted to use that as my baseline to move forward, I could hit this button here. It says replaced with endorsed, gives you a description of what that is. What it's going to do, I'm going to cancel this. It's going to ask me if I'm okay, but what it'll actually do is copy that endorsed profile and it'll become a new version of my self-assessed, and then I can edit it. So over the year, I can keep that up to date and then maybe get re-endorsed on an annual basis, something like that. So that's it from the user side. I'm just going to pause now and we're going to jump across and look at it from an endorser's point of view. Okay, I'm logged in here with a user that's got access to some of the administration functions, and one of those features is manage endorsements and reports. So I'm just going to click on that. I'm just going to do a couple of sorts on here, get some data into the system. Basically, if I'm allowed access to this, I can create an endorsed profile, but I might be doing that from someone else's notes. You can see here that we can set it for review, so someone can review that, make sure that the data was entered correctly. Then we can assign the actual endorser, the person that actually did the endorsement, and it's only they that can actually set the profile to be an approved profile that then becomes visible to the end user. So I've got some in here that we can see who created it. It's been approved, the endorser's name, and that's the one I was just looking at previously. We've got one here that's for review. We've got an endorser that's been set, and now I've got this little badge here because I'm logged in as that user. If I just click on that approve button, obviously it's not just going to automatically approve, it's going to take me in so I can just view it and make sure that it is what I expect. So I come in here, I can see it's currently set for review. I could set it for reviewed, or I could immediately just set it for approved. If I hit this button here, it's going to give me a warning telling me that it's going to be visible and it cannot be unapproved. So that's really the process. Of course, the bit that I haven't demonstrated here is there will have been some form of discussion between those two parties, probably in a virtual or face-to-face environment, but it could have been done asynchronously with information and evidence passing backwards and forwards. As an endorser, I should also point out that I can come into this person's profile and view their evidence to help support the endorsement. So that's endorsements. I'll pause, we'll go to Chapter 3, which is another level above that, which is to issue SFIA credentials and badges. Okay, Chapter 3, the Certify feature, pretty unique to SkillsTX. So this, I should point out, first of all, needs an accredited assessor to be able to perform this. It needs to be part of a certification scheme. We run ours through APMG International. And the badges are issued via Credly. There is a cost involved as well. If you're interested in this, we basically load up your system with credits so that you can make this available to your employees. So if we've switched this feature on, I say because there is a cost involved, then this option will be available to your end users until you've used up the credits. So click on Certify Skills. I'm in the evidence page here, and now it's given me a list of skills that I've got in my skill profile, and I just select the ones that I would like to be assessed for. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to click down here. We can only have 6, so I'll keep going, and when we get to 6, I can't select any more. Okay, so that's all set up within the system. I accept the terms and conditions. I obviously go to the privacy statement and I submit. I won't do that, I've done one already. I'm going to go and look at this now from the assessor's point of view. If I did click that submit button, there would be emails sent off to the appropriate people in the system to notify them that I've requested my skills are certified. So I'm going to pause there and we're going to come back and have a look at this from the assessor perspective. Okay, so I've logged into the administration as somebody with access to this option here, Manage SFIA Credentials and Reports. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see here that this user has requested to be certified. An assessor has been assigned to them. Again, that will have sent a notification to that assessor, and I'm logged in as that assessor, hence the reason I've got access to this button here that says Certify. So what this is going to do, it's going to take me in to an edit page. It's going to show me the skills that were selected by Raphael. So I'll scroll down here, and I've now got all the skills with all the levels represented. And if I hit the edit button, what I can do now is start to issue badges. So I'm going to do a couple of these. I'm going to say that we've got consultancy at level 4 competence. I'll just do a couple of them. And let's say programming knowledge at level 5. These have all got meanings, of course. As an assessor, I'd understand what those are. So that's that. I click save, and now I can submit for badges. I click that. I get a big warning confirming that I am actually authorized to do this. Again, I'm not going to do it because this actually will send off an API request, and those badges will be issued. And once issued, they will come back to Raphael in his evidence, obviously as read-only, and list these SFIA badges as evidence of the skills that he had requested to be certified against. Okay, a couple of use cases. So we'll run straight into chapter 4 because this is actually relevant to what we're just looking at here. So a couple of use cases. It may be that Raphael is looking for a promotion, and to assist that promotion, he wants to be assessed for certain skills because they're needed in the next role. The other use case that we've seen this used for is to actually provide people with an additional aspect of their remuneration. So if they can prove that they have certain skills, then they will get a bonus effectively on top of their normal salary. And of course, you can imagine that for someone applying for a job, they may even spend their own money to request that they get certain skills certified to go along with their CV. So just 3 different use cases there. Within an employment environment, I said we would expect that our customers load up the system with credits and then make those available to the user base, usually on a first come, first served basis. Okay, brave new world. Just with regard to what we're seeing here, the use of these badges is taking us to another level of professionalism in the digital economy. I know there's micro-credentials, there's university courses, etc. The difference with this is you can see we've got competence and knowledge, etc. Competent means that it's actually a practice skill and that evidence has been provided and somebody has, confirmed that you actually have that skill, regardless of how you acquired it. If it was just through pure trial and error, practice, formal qualifications, it doesn't really matter. This is about being able to apply that skill in the context of the environment that you're working. So starting to implement this type of system with accredited assessors, you can imagine that the level of capability uplift overall will be improved, and more importantly, particularly around very high risk skills, cybersecurity skills, the ability to issue these badges a real bonus in the digital economy. Thanks for watching the demo, and hope to see you on another demo in the future.